And we say good morning to you. We are broadcasting live. We're here at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Again, on this Wednesday. Again, it is raining outside, but it beats the snow. At least it is for me. And so we say good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. Show number 683 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show live again at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City on this Wednesday, February the 7th, 2018. Of course, on the calendar, you can know that a week from today is the Day of Love, Valentine's Day 2018. And so it's right around the corner, obviously, a week from today. And so we are here again live at Chick-fil-A, having a big time. We got lots of folks lined up ready to go to visit with. And so we're going to hear from Zach James, the big gaming game contest coming up. Again, that's going to be happening at East Tennessee State University. He's going to join us coming up here in a little while. The very latest on baseball, Major League Baseball update with Greg Salyer. And also, we'll have the very latest for you also from our buddy Tanner Cook from the Johnson City Press. So we got that. Plus, it is National Signing Day for college football. We won't really know until tomorrow who is signing off on those scholarship papers and fax them into their respective schools that they want to play football for. So it, again, we'll see. But Tennessee looks to have a pretty good recruiting year going on. And, of course, all the big boys, the Alabamas, the Ohio States, the Georgias, all having pretty good years as well, obviously. So we will see probably tomorrow when the dust clears how things go. I know Kevin's going to join us tomorrow. Hello, Sunshine. How are you? Connie's in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Is today a good day? It is signing day. You got a big thing going on at East Tennessee State, right? Yeah. Yeah. There you go. It doesn't stop. The dust never settles. She's always doing something. And so, hello, Darius Hensley. Good morning, my good friend. He's going to be with us on the show Friday. We'll be at Food City in Piney Flats. Tomorrow, of course, at Champion Chevrolet. We always start our show by dedicating it to the man who hung on the cross. We unashamedly do that, of course. Today's verse out of the book of Isaiah. Isaiah 26:3-4 says, I will keep you in perfect peace if you will keep your mind steadfast on me and always trust me. I am a rock you can always stand on. I will keep you in perfect peace if you will keep your mind steadfast on me and always trust me. I am a rock you can always stand on. And so that's what we've got going on again here on this Wednesday, February the 7th, 2018. One birthday of note. Happy birthday to Garth Brooks. Country music singer Garth Brooks having a birthday. 56 candles on his birthday cake. So Garth is a birthday boy today. And of course, he may be the all-time greatest country music superstar. Some folks in George Strait's camp would argue that point, but as far as sales and just selling out concerts, of course, George does it as well, but I'd say they could go pretty much run neck and neck. Anyway, Garth Brooks having a birthday. He's 56 today, and so happy birthday to Garth. We've got college basketball, Major League Baseball. Greg's going to join us at the top of the hour, the very latest in the signings. Had a couple of more signings overnight, and so now we're hearing in Major League Baseball circles about collusion and a possible strike because the Players Association aren't happy with the owners. Owners are like, you can take it or leave it. Got a story to tell you why everybody's upset. Busy night last night in high school basketball and college basketball and the NBA. We'll tell you all about that, the National Hockey League. We've also got stories on, obviously, college football, the National Signing Day. Got a coach who got a reward for his job well done for his coaching performance, and so he got a big, big pay raise. So all that's coming up as we're live here again, as we said, on the road at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Again on this Wednesday, February the 7th, 2018. Are you getting free treats with the Chick-fil-A One app? Right here. It's very simple to do. Getting free treats with the Chick-fil-A One app. All you got to do is download the Chick-fil-A One app. Chick-fil-A One, spelled out one. Chick-fil-A One app. Create an account to join Chick-fil-A One. Track your progress every time you scan your app or place a mobile order and get free treats. The more you use your Chick-fil-A One app, it's a really cool thing. And so, again, if you haven't done it, you need to do it. Getting free treats with the Chick-fil-A One app. You see the one is not the number, but the word spelled out. Chick-fil-A One app. So, again, download this app. Create an account to join Chick-fil-A One. Track your progress every time you scan your app or place a mobile order. Then earn free treats for the more you use your Chick-fil-A One app. It's just that simple. So that's what's going on there again with the Chick-fil-A One app. Tom Taylor Sports Show again. Thanks for being with us. We'll take a break. We'll come right back and we'll jump in, talk a little. Where will I start? How about pro football? Tell me why Josh McDaniels left the Patriots, said he's going to be the Colts coach, and then turned right around and said, nah, probably not, going back to New England. Did Belichick have something to do with that? Did he get over there and look around and go, I'm in over my head? Whatever the reason, Josh McDaniels said yes, and now he said no, and he's turned around and reneged on his commitment to be the head football coach of the Indianapolis Colts. Again, it's NFL, but I found it interesting why it happened, and so we'll kind of delve into that coming up here in just a few minutes. Coming up next, our first segment, take a look at basketball. How about the Volunteers? Tennessee goes into Rupp Arena and sweeps them for the first time in a long time. Tennessee beats Kentucky last night, swept them, beat them in Knoxville earlier in the season, and now the Wildcats, I would think, a little soul-searching, although Rick Barnes is proving. We said this 2 years ago, give this guy a chance to get his players in there and get his system in place. You can't be the all-time winningest coach of Texas and not know what you're doing. And so this guy, hello, Renee McNeil, watching in Elizabethton. Hope you're feeling better, young lady. So you can't be the all-time winningest coach of Texas, come into Tennessee and not do good, because it's taken a while for him to get his system in place. It does anywhere, anytime for any coach. You just can't walk in overnight. Jeremy Pruitt's going to be the same way on the football team. If you're waiting for SEC championship next year or maybe 2 years away, I mean, it's possible, but it's not probable. I mean, you just got to give these guys a chance to get their system in place, get the players they want in camp or in their school or on their team that they want. So Rick Barnes doing a bang-up job sweeping the Kentucky Wildcats, and so now there's a lot of buzz around this men's basketball program at Tennessee. Of course, they'll come back and play at Alabama later on this week for the 2-game road swing. But big win last night. We'll talk about that. Some other top 25 college basketball news. The NBA had a team last night that wasn't supposed to, got flat blown out. And then also big high school night last night. A couple of teams have clinched their respective conference championships heading into tournament play next week. So we'll tell you all about that coming up. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. We are live again. We are on the road at Chick-Fil-A, crossing the North Johnson City. Show number 683 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology has just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here are the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance. We follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
Back to the Tom Douglas Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. Before we get into college basketball, a couple of breaking stories as far as National Signing Day in college football. Two of the five-star prospects we talked about yesterday is going to be much sought after. Patrick Surtain Jr. and Tyson Campbell, the top two defensive backs in the recruiting wars for this year, have been shutting down opposing receivers as high school teammates. They'll now be rivals in the Southeastern Conference. Surtain Jr., the number 5 overall recruit, the top available player left on National Signing Day, surprised a lot of folks by committing to the Alabama Crimson Tide over LSU. Campbell, the number 9 overall recruit, chose Georgia. So both were five-star prospects at American Heritage High School in Plantation, Florida. So Surtain goes Alabama, Tyson Campbell goes Georgia. And so those two are big, big names coming off the list. Surtain was down to Alabama and LSU, but seemingly had the Tigers in the lead for quite some time. Alabama and Miami came on late in his recruitment. He visited both those schools in January. And so his father played 11 NFL seasons as a defensive back for Miami and the Chiefs, and a 3-time Pro Bowl selection. And so his son says, I'll go Alabama. And so the Crimson Tide are losing all 5 starters in the secondary and have been in search of replacement within the 2018 class. Also Campbell, as we said, Tyson Campbell, 6'3", 181-pound cornerback, gives Georgia 3 5-star commitments, joining number 1 overall recruit Justin Fields and defensive end Brenton Cox. So, again, the Bulldogs have landed 4 ESPN 300 prospects from the state of Florida. So, the Buckeyes made a big splash. Ohio State lands Nicholas Petit-Frere and the number 13 recruit, who's the top offensive tackle in the class of 2018. So there's 3 off the table. Surtain goes Alabama, Tyson Campbell goes Georgia, and the big lineman Nicholas Petit Frere, F-R-E-R-E, Frere, is going to be a Buckeye for Urban Meyer and the Ohio State Buckeyes. So there's 3 big names off the list, if you will, of the National Signing Day. So thought we'd let you know about that here. That's why we're here on the Tom Douglas Sports Show. Let's see. Anything else going up and down through here? We're going to talk about McDaniels saying no to the Colts. So, here's the story. I want to get to this, too, before we get into basketball, as I promised. But prosecutors on Wednesday, today, charging an immigrant illegally living in the United States in a drunken driving crash that killed Indianapolis Colt linebacker Edwin Jackson and a ride-sharing service driver in Indiana. Manuel Regas-Zavala, 37, charged with 4 felony counts related to the Sunday crash along Interstate 70 in Indianapolis. The citizen from Guatemala was due in court later Wednesday today for an initial hearing on the charges causing death while driving intoxicated and leaving the scene of an accident. He's been deported twice. We go back to illegal immigration, and this is not a political show, but folks, it is what it is. It ain't rocket science. It ain't hard to figure this one out. This man was deported in 2007 out of this country, then deported again in 2009. He was again living illegally in the United States at the time of the crash. A federal immigration charge was filed against him yesterday. He was arrested following the crash along Interstate 70. Investigators said Jackson and his Uber driver, Jeffrey Monroe, were standing outside Monroe's car when they were struck and killed with a pickup truck driven by Oraga Zavala. Jackson, 26, Monroe was 54. So President Trump drew added attention to the case on Twitter, calling the crash that killed Jackson Monroe disgraceful. See, this guy, I'm not going to get into politics on the show, but this guy he can't do anything right. Now, had he not reached out to him, then you'd have heard about that. So he tweets and says it's disgraceful. The president also prodded Democrats to work with him on illegal immigration and border security. So a spokesman for Jackson's family has said his relatives are devastated and planned no response to Trump's tweets about the crash and the suspect's immigration status. I mean, at some point you got to take the bull by the horns, folks. I mean, it's just that simple. And again, this is not a political show, but here's a guy that has been deported twice, living again for the third time illegally in this country, and gets drunk and runs over and kills a football player that's standing outside his truck, broke down along the interstate. And nothing seems to be, it's like, well, okay. And then, because the president reaches out and sends him a tweet, says we're sorry, and it's disgraceful, and we're devastated by what happened to your son. I mean, well, we got to tackle this problem, and it's a very, very sad story. And so Jackson is gone, the football player for the Indianapolis Colts, and nobody's really addressing the problem because it's such a political hot potato. But again, the man was in this country illegally for the third time, not the first, not the second, but the third time living illegally in this country, and again was a drunk driver. So, in my humble opinion, prosecute him to the fullest extent of the law, period. End of story. I don't care where he's from, Guatemala or Nicaragua, wherever. This guy needs to, they need to make an example out of him and let folks know that you can't come in this country illegally and do what he did. He's did it 3 times. 3 times twice been deported. So anyway, it is what it is. Very, very sad story. But again, the president, he reached out and tried to show some compassion, and, he got beat up over that too. So, do I think Donald Trump has all the answers? No. Only one that has all the answers is sits on the throne and hung on the cross. But anyway, it's not a political show, but it's just it's interesting to say the least. Tom Taylor Sports Show. Let's see what's going on in college basketball. Last night, it was a big win last night for the Tennessee Volunteers, a rare victory in Rupp Arena. Lamonte Turner scored 16 points, including a clutch three-pointer with 26 seconds remaining. Admiral Schofield followed with an insurance dunk off a turnover, and the Volunteers edged number 24 Kentucky 61-59 last night for its 6th consecutive victory. The Volunteers, now 18-5, 8-3 in the Southeastern Conference, earned just their 5th Rupp Arena victory and first since 2006. They've only won there 5 times in the history of the program. Wildcats lost their 2nd straight. They're now 17-7, 6-5 on the season. The Volunteers notching their first season sweep of Kentucky since 1998-99. So a heck of a game last night for Rick Barnes and the Tennessee men's team. Next stop, they'll play at Alabama coming up this weekend. But again, big win. First sweep of Kentucky since 98-99 season. And only their 5th victory ever, according to this article, at Rupp Arena, the first since 2006. Haven't won there in 12 years. So big win last night for the Volunteers at Rupp Arena. Other top 25 scores. Hello, Kelly Essler, the swim coach at Milligan College. Got to get you back on. She is an awesome lady and a heck of a coach and a class young lady. So got to get her back on here soon and let her talk about the great Milligan College swim team and the year they're having. Other top 25 games last night. One other upset, Northwestern at home knocks off 20th ranked Michigan, beat them by 9, 61-52, big win. Michigan falls to 19-7. Other top 25 winners in college basketball. Number 5 Xavier in overtime goes to Butler and beats the Bulldogs 98-93. Cincinnati, 6th ranked Bearcats, no problem. Central Florida beat them by 34 last night. It was Michigan State by 3. They had to hang on to beat Iowa at Iowa 96-93. Spartans 4th in the country. 10th ranked Kansas, a hard-fought 7-point win to go 19-5 on the season. Kansas wins at 71-64. And you're welcome, Kelly Essler. She's a class lady now, I'm telling you. She may be small in stature, but tell you what, she's a firecracker. She's a go-getter. Proof's in the pudding. She's got a great swim team at Milligan. She's turned that program around. She's setting records left and right as individuals and as a team. So good stuff. Kelly Essler. Love Milligan College. There's a great bunch of folks out there. She's one of them. Bill Robinson and Daniel Monjay and Doniva Bays and, oh gosh, Coach Aubrey. I mean, there's some good peeps again at Milligan College, and she's certainly one of them. Wichita State, a 20-point win at Memphis last night. Shockers now 18-5 on the season. 1, 2, 3 good ones tonight. Men's top 25 college basketball. Number 2 Virginia, 22-1, will put on the line at Tallahassee against the Seminoles of Florida State. Number 17-6. That's a 7 o'clock tip tonight. 14th ranked Ohio State at 20-5 will play at number 3 Purdue tonight. That's going to be a good one. Boilermakers 23-2, third in the country. 14th ranked Ohio State 20-5 at number 3 Purdue 23-2. That'll be an 8:30 tip-off tonight. Other good game will be down in Auburn. 8th ranked War Eagles at 21-2 on the season for Bruce Pearl, entertaining the getting much better and getting much healthier Texas A&M Aggies, who are 15-8 on the year. Hello, Jerry McNeil, watching my friend yonder in Elizabethton. Other games tonight. St. John's at number 1 Villanova. St. John's at 11-13. Nova 22-1. They'll play that one tonight at Villanova. Other games, Wake Forest struggling at 9-14 will be at number 25 Miami tonight, or Miami hosting them. 7th ranked Texas Tech 19-4 home to Iowa State, and 23rd ranked Nevada 20-4 hosting UNLV, the Running Rebels tonight. That's all going on in men's top 25 college basketball. By the way, the Bucks of East Tennessee State, their next game on Saturday on the road at VMI. NBA last night, it was Cleveland getting beat again. I tell you what, it's getting dicey in Cleveland. They're 30-22. They are struggling, to say the least. Orlando got them in Florida at the Amway Arena, beat them by 18, 116-98. It was Philadelphia, big upset over Washington, beat them by 13, 115-102 in Philadelphia. Golden State hosting Oklahoma City last night, and they got them. Oklahoma City beat them at Golden State by a 125-105 score. Big win there, a 20-point win for Oklahoma City. And the Lakers last night get a 19-point win at home over Phoenix. Other ball games, it was Atlanta, a 26-point win over Memphis at home. And Toronto beat the Boston Celtics with a matchup of 35-plus win teams. Toronto won by 20. Blew them out in Toronto, 111-91. So that's your NBA. And then Milwaukee with a 14-point win in New York against the Knicks. Tonight, 3 good ones, Houston and Miami. Houston at 39-13. The Heat at 29-25. They'll play that one in Florida. Minnesota, the Timberwolves with 34 wins at Cleveland, 30-22 for LeBron and the boys. Indiana will be in New Orleans. Indiana 30-25. New Orleans at 28-25. 3 good ones tonight. Other ball games, Brooklyn at Detroit, Utah at Memphis, and my boys, the San Antonio Spurs in Phoenix against the Phoenix Suns. That's what's going on again tonight in the NBA. High school basketball last night. Let's run them down for you. It was Science Hill holding on to beat Elizabethton 54-39. Cyclones gave them all they wanted. Again, I'm going to tell you, we'll go on record and tell you, next week in the tournament, AA tournament at Elizabethton, Cyclones going to knock somebody off. I'm just telling you, they've played and played and played, and they're so close. They played hard all year long. They're so close, and they're looking for some good things to happen. And everybody's even, Steve, when you start that second half, or second season, they call it, the tournament time. So I'm looking for the Cyclones to have a big run next week. Volunteer beat Daniel Boone, big upset there on senior night in Churchill. Volunteer beat them 63-55. Dobbins Minute goes into Viking Hall and wins big there, 63-48 last night. Crockett beats Cherokee by 26. Sullivan South over Happy Valley by 34 last night. 31, 74-43. Unicoi County nails down the Three Rivers Conference Championship regular season by beating Sullivan Central by 15. You also have Sullivan East over Johnson County by 3, 51-48. Also last night, University High's guys beat Cloudland by 16 in boys high school basketball. Girls side, Science Hill by 22 over Elizabethton. Daniel Boone's ladies beat Volunteer by 30. Daniel Boone again 7th in the state in girls AAA basketball. Dobbins Minutes ladies by 16 over Tennessee High. Crockett and Cherokee got them last night by 11, 59-48. South Lady Rebels over Happy Valley, 52-34. Unicoi County's ladies beat Sullivan Central by 6. Central was hoping to nail down the championship, and they did not do it last night. Unicoi County said not yet. Lady Blue Devils win by 6. Sullivan East over Johnson County, 58-29. Unaca's ladies beat North 49-12. Goodness. And Cloudland over University High, 52-18 in girls high school basketball. A couple of games tonight. You have, on the boys' side, Boone at Gate City. On the girls' side, That's tomorrow night. So, yeah, Daniel Boone and Gate City, boys and girls tonight, playing across the state line in Gate City. Tom Taylor Sports Show, we are live again at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Do you have the Chick-fil-A One app? There it is right there. Are you getting free treats with the Chick-fil-A One app? All you got to do is real simple. I'll tell you how you can do it. Download the Chick-fil-A One app. Create an account to join Chick-fil-A One. Track your progress every time you scan your app or place a mobile order. Then earn free treats the more you use your Chick-fil-A One app. How about that? So it's right here at the Crossings in North Johnson City. Are you getting free treats with the Chick-fil-A One app? Good stuff. We are live here again. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. Got more to share with you as we're live here at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. We'll be right back right after you hear this on show number 683 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City is starting off 2018 with monster savings on over 350 new Chevrolets to choose from. Take advantage of these awesome savings for a limited time only. Silverado Crew and Double Cabs, $10,000 off MSRP. 17 Spark, $11,995. 18 Equinox, $19,995. 17 Traverse, $28,995. 17 Corvette, 20% off MSRP. Shop us online 24/7 and don't forget our Saturday parts and service hours. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
The savings continue in the month of February at Max Medicine Mart in Kingsport. All natural factors 20% off. Folic acid, CoQ10, apple cider vinegar capsules, B12. They're all on sale. Anything natural factors, all 20% off the month of February at Max Medicine Mart. No coupons, no limits. It's a flat 20% off anytime you buy natural factors in February at Max Medicine Mart. Max Medicine Mart, Center Street, Kingsport. Natural factors 20% off in February. Make tracks to Max Medicine Mart.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back at the Tom Taylor Sports Show, we are live again here at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City, and we will, of course, go to the top there and talk a little baseball coming up here in a few minutes. But look right there on the screen, Zach James with ETSU Con. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Good morning. How are you?
Just fine. I appreciate you coming by here, and you are a professor at East Tennessee State.
I'm an adjunct Japanese professor, yes.
That is awesome.
Thank you.
And you teach what?
Japanese.
Japanese.
Yeah,
So,
I do.
how would you say in Japanese? Can you say, what's Chick-fil-A in Japanese?
Chick-Fil-A.
Chick-Fil-A. I'm a Chick-Fil-A. Let me write that down. That's good. So I just learned my first little dab of Japanese. So it's Chico.
Chiku.
Chi. Ku.
Fi.
Fi.
Day.
Day.
Mm-hmm.
Chiku-Fil-A.
Yep, Chiku-Fil-A.
Chiku-Fil-A. How do you say hello in Japanese?
So it's morning right now, technically, so we're going to say Ohayo.
Oh, Ohio?
Ohio.
Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio.
Ohio.
Hello in Ohio.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Now, a dumb question.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a lot of kids at East NC State taking Japanese.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We're second largest language program, actually, over there, right behind Spanish.
Really?
Yep.
That is cool.
Yep.
So things I learned.
Yeah.
We get folks on the show. So that's not why he's here, but I thought that was cool. So Chiku Fide.
Yep.
That's where I'm at today.
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A. I'm right here. So at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. That's pretty cool. I like that. Give me some. That's cool. All right, so let's jump in here and talk about this. On the screen says ETSU
Yes,
Con.
absolutely.
It's next weekend. Folks out there may not have a clue what we're talking about.
So you know, Comic-Cons have been a really big thing coming across the U.S., and now we're even getting Comic-Cons in other countries and everything. And about 6 years ago, a good friend of mine named Frederick Pogue wanted to do a comic convention at ETSU. So he grabbed myself and a couple others, and he said, "You want to do a show?" And we said, "Sure," and we didn't know really what we were getting into. We had our first ETSU Con. We had 900 people show up.
Really?
Yeah, so we figured, well, people like this, I guess. And after that, I got roped into doing it for a couple of years and went back to grad school, and then I came back, and they asked me to do it one more time. So
Here we are.
here we are. So this is our 6th year. We average usually somewhere in the ballpark of about 2,200 folks coming every year.
Wow.
You know, and we just try to make it a great community show, a great a great event for students and community members alike.
So, I'm going to plead ignorance here. I have no clue what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's all right.
And that's okay because you got to start someplace. But what exactly is that gaming? Is it a conference? Is it a workshop? What is it?
So that's the neat part about comic conventions. They can be almost literally anything. We have panels about certain subjects, whether it be comic books, video games, or movies or something like that. We actually have professors doing panels about certain nerdy subjects that coincide with their teachings. Like we have a theater teacher talking about cosplay, like where people dress up, how to use cosplay techniques in theater. We've got math professors and physics professors talking about the maths and physics behind certain things. We've got digital media professors talking about how to do animations for characters and things like that you would find in movies and video games. And then, if that's not your jam, we have a vendor hall and a artist alley where you can go buy comics, video games, that kind of thing, swap and trade with people and talk, that kind of thing. We have a lot of great guests coming that are big industry folks, that are voice actors for a lot of famous characters. Our big headliner is a man named Nolan North. He voiced a gentleman called Nathan Drake in the Uncharted video game series. Everyone loves him in that video game series. He's also done Superboy and Superman and some cartoons. He was Raphael from the Ninja Turtles and some different renditions. It's just it's a place where people can just kind of relax for the weekend and get together over nerdy hobbies.
And you kind of cherry pick what you want to go see too, right? You kind of pick and choose what you want to do.
Yeah, we have a schedule laid out, and you can just kind of plan your day.
Yeah. And so geographically, they come from all over the place?
Oh, yeah. Last year, when I was helping out, I had people tell me they were coming from New York and Connecticut and Florida. Yeah, and I'm sitting here, and I'm like, and you came here to Johnson City? And they're like, well, yeah, this sounds like a really fun show. And I'm like, okay.
So is this like a circuit? I mean, do you get a schedule? So if I'm into this, I would come to Johnson City this week. Maybe next week I go to Lexington, Kentucky.
You could. I mean, you could. Some people do that. You got to have the money for it. I can't afford that on a teacher's salary, but
So now we had a gentleman in here a couple of weeks ago talking about there is a competition.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah. So Kevin's talking about our Super Smash Brothers tournament. So Super Smash Brothers is a very competitive fighting game using a lot of characters from all Nintendo's properties. And he's got this huge tournament. I think he's going to have a 200-person turnout for this tournament. And these 200 people are going to go into the cave in the Culp Center at ETSU and duke it out for, I'm not exaggerating, probably 12 hours straight. It's going to be that long to get everyone sorted out and matched up. But yeah, we have great big events like that. We have gaming competitions. We have costume contests. It's like I said, it's got a little bit of everything for everyone. So.
We're talking to Zach James. You see on the screen again for the ETSU Con. So The average person, again, I feel like I'm a duck out of water here. I'm learning.
Yeah.
But the average person does this, I would assume, is a millennial, or is it older people? Is it all guys?
So that's the funny thing. A couple years back, when I was leading a panel, I was discussing the differences between Marvel and DC Comics. I had these older gentlemen come in, and I was thinking, oh man, I'm thinking these guys are gonna be bored or something like that. Like, I got done with my panel, and they came up to me and they said, "This is such a blast. This is a great time and everything." And I started actually, like, I stood still and I started looking around at all the people. You've got people my age, you've got people older than me, you've got people younger than me. I mean, there's no age limit on this.
So when I was a kid, you're talking about comic books. I don't know if I'm in the right ballpark.
Yeah.
You know, I got the Archie comic books, Beetle Bailey. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what you guys are talking about. And
We got some folks that are interested in Archie and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're a little bit more superhero focused, but you know,
Captain America.
Captain America, you know.
Had that one. I had what was the guy's name? He was on two legs. He looks like he's clay. Is it Thor? Not Thor. With the Incredible Hulk. No.
Oh yeah, the great Hulk.
Who's the big guy? It's Brown.
Big guy that's brown. Juggernaut, Hulk.
Maybe it's Hulk.
Yeah.
You had Captain America.
Yeah.
You had the Flash.
Yeah.
Is that right? The guy goes fast.
Yep.
I'm scraping the cobwebs off here.
Oh, you're fine.
Who else? There was a girl. What was the girl's name? Wasn't Wonder Woman. It was somebody else. She was. They just did one of these superhero series.
Black Widow.
Black Widow. There you go. So, are those comic books still vogue, or are they kind of out?
No. They're still in. Marvel's in. DC's in. It is a great time to be a nerd. It's a great time to be interested in comics. It's a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're talking to get our buddy Zach. Is there a cost to do this? And
there is. So ETSU students get in for free. Active military get in for free. Active EMT, firefighter, those folks, they get in for free. We try to make it as accessible as possible. Community members can pay $25 ahead of time. They can pre-register online for the whole weekend. And what's nice about that is we cut costs to make sure that all of our guests get free autographs, all the events are free, everything. So you pay one price and you're good to go. So you pay $25, that helps us pay for overhead and everything else.
Sure.
And then you free reign all weekend, and if you don't pre-reg, you can do 35 at the door. But we try to make this as easily accessible as possible, because other conventions, they'll charge you $50 to get in, okay? And so you're in. And let's say there's two people you want to meet. Well, you get up there, and they have to make a living too, so they're going to charge you $40 for an autograph, and this other person's going to charge you $50 for an autograph, and that kind of thing. So we go ahead and we make deals with those people ahead of time, and we give them money ahead of time, so they don't have to charge for an autograph.
Well, that's cool.
Yep.
Thank you, ma'am.
And we try to make it just as affordable for everyone as possible.
All right, so if you're a NASCAR guy, you'd want Dale Jr.'s autograph. If you're
man,
NBA,
I
LeBron
couldn't
James,
afford
or-
Dale Jr. I looked into it. No, I didn't.
So in this particular event next weekend, it's the 17th and 18th, by the way, at the Culp Center at East Tennessee State. Another goofy question, but who is, if I want to get an autograph, somebody's in this,
yes,
who is the autograph I want? Who is the...
You probably Nolan North. He's a huge, prolific voice actor in video games, movies, TV shows, that kind of thing. He does a bunch of different Marvel roles and DC roles. He actually won several video game voice acting roles. I think he won like Spike's best male voice actor role like several years in a row. He's a really interesting person. We also have Courtney Taylor, who is she's OKKO from a recent Cartoon Network series. She's the female survivor from Fallout 4, which is a huge video game series. She's Jack from Mass Effect, so she kind of hits several other bases there. And we also have famous YouTubers coming in. We have the Super Beard Bros, and what they do is they complete games and they critique them and they talk about them and they try to bring positivity to an otherwise less than positive space on the internet, And that's basically it. We're just those are our big guests. Those are all the good guys, But we have tons of other cosplay guests,
I love this guy. I've never met him before. This guy's cool. Can you come back next week and do this again?
I might be able to. Yeah, actually, if it's on Wednesday, I could do it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Same time.
Yeah.
Of course, you get free lunch. Did they tell you that?
Oh, okay. No, they didn't tell me that.
Oh, yeah. You get to go through and get free lunch before you head back.
Sweet.
Are you teaching this afternoon?
No, this is my day off. Thank
Your
goodness.
day off?
Yeah.
Chick-Fil-A.
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 Here, let me
There
have
you
your pen.
go.
I'll write it for you in Japanese.
There's my man right there. There's one of the good guys. Did you do it phonetically? You gonna do it for me?
Yeah. All right. So.
I like this. So I want to meet Nolan North and I want to meet Courtney Taylor and get their autograph.
There you go.
You want to talk a little? You want to talk a little Tennessee football? Busy man. I'd love just to sit down with sometime, pick your brain, just be your buddy over some lasagna. Yeah. Or Red Sox. Don Shepard's in there with us. We're gonna have a little lunch. So, Chick-Fil-A. There you go.
There you go.
My man Zach James. Is there a website we can go to find out more?
So you can go to ETSU, let's see here, .edu/Etsucon, I believe. But we also have just a Facebook page, which is easier if you just type in Etsucon on Facebook.
Etsucon.
Yep.
ETSU CON.
Yep.
Facebook page. You're back here next week. I want you back.
All right.
This
No
is
problem.
cool. How do I meet this guy? I want to be.
You just
how
come
do
to
I?
his
How can I
panel.
become Nolan North?
How do you become Nolan North?
Yeah.
I guess you have to go through a lot of voice acting training. Move out to LA.
Move to LA and do it.
Yeah, I can't recommend that.
So, nah, I like East Tennessee.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm okay right here.
Yep.
But so this guy is much sought after. He's a big deal.
He is. We actually had a huge person beforehand, and he had a professional commitment because he had a huge game coming up, I think in fall. So he canceled. We were scrambling, and I managed to help get us Nolan North to replace that guest.
There you go.
And he's a great guy. Goes into a lot of things about promoting yourself and voice acting and theater and that kind of thing. And on top of that, he loves the characters that he plays as. He's a big nerd too.
So where would I know before I let you go. So where would I go to hear Nolan North do a character?
Where? He actually has 2 panels during the weekend where you can come in, you can just sit down, ask him questions and that kind of thing. And he's also got autograph sessions, so if you could be like, hey, can you do Nathan Drake really quick, he might do it for you.
So if I type in his name, it'll pop up?
Oh, yeah.
Well, check him out.
Yeah.
Nolan North.
Nolan North.
How old is this guy?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't go around asking people their age.
Well, you're 24, and I'm way past 24.
I'm 26, actually.
I was close.
You were close.
I knew I was
You're
close. So is he between us?
Yeah, let's go for
Okay.
that.
I like this guy. This guy's good. Will you come back next week?
Absolutely.
I want you back same time.
All
This
right.
guy's cool
I can do
because
that.
we got one more time. We can push it one more time.
Yeah,
too, for
sure.
you.
Absolutely.
Facebook page, ETSU Con. Check it out.
Yep.
ETSU, all caps, CON, all caps. And my man Zach James with ETSU Con. Is this going to be, you going to do it again next year? Is this it?
We are going to try it next year. The Culp Center is going through renovations. I don't know if you heard about that. It's like
Yes.
a $40 million project or something. So we might be without a space for a year or two.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know I'm not going to be in charge of it after this, though. I'm too busy.
Yeah. This is your one trick pony.
This is my last. This is my last ride. This is my last heist.
His last
my last
heist.
job. Before
this
I
is it.
retire.
This is his last gig.
It's my last gig. There
He's
you go.
done. All right.
I keep telling them I don't know how they tricked me into doing it one more time.
Are you hungry?
Yeah, I'm a little hungry. Okay.
Go through the one giving a hug. Go through Miss Judy's line there and get yourself
Alrighty.
whatever you want.
All right, I appreciate it.
See you next week.
All right, yep, absolutely.
Quick break. We'll be right back. This guy's cool. Zach James with ETSU Con. We'll be right back with more on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue. Do you like pulled pork? At Phil's, the pulled pork is cooked low and slow. We cook it all night, but we serve it fast. Our pulled pork is hickory smoked, tender and juicy. We serve the pork either as a sandwich on a bun or platter style with garlic toast. And don't forget to try our pork wings. They taste like a cross between ham and our sweet ribs. It comes as a meal, as an add-on, or part of our meat sampler platters. Pulled pork and pork wings. Just 2 great reasons to stop by Phil's Dream Pit. Eastern Star exit off I-26, 349-6437. Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do as their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Chick-Fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
Here. We are back out of the break and meeting young man Daryl Parker, Big Gate City Blue Devil man. He was telling about how good this team is. If you've not seen them play, you need to get over there and check them out. And so your all's tournament, Virginia tournament, starts next week too, right?
It does.
Kind of cranks up. So the buzz in this region, the reason we're talking about this, they played Daniel Boone tonight. So the buzz in this region, no question, is Mac McClung and the Gate City Blue Devils, and it's more than just him. I mean, obviously he's the daddy rabbit, but he's got a great supporting cast. It's a good basketball team, right? You've seen them play. So, yeah, Mac McClung's kind of the star of the show, if you will. But Zach Irvin and this kid that was on the front page of the Times News, his name again is Bradley Dean. Yep. And Vermillion's kid, Coach Vermillion's boy. So it's more than just Mac McClung, but there's a picture of him again. And they wore out Ridgeview last night at Gate City. They got Daniel Boone tonight. So if all the stars are aligned, these guys could win a state championship, is what you're saying? What you're hoping?
Well, we're hoping they can.
Yeah.
I believe, like I said, if the stars align, they will. They're plenty competitive, and they're capable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. So McClung's going on to Georgetown, and, of course, he was the toast of the Arby's Classic. I guess he's the toast everywhere they go. They pack him out. So he's like a one-man marketing machine. Everybody wants Gate City coming to their gym this year because they're going to sell a lot of popcorn and drinks, right?
A lot of popcorn, drinks, and hot dogs. Yes.
Oh, well, it was great meeting you, my friend.
It's great meeting you.
Yeah.
Tell everyone that come to the game tonight and get there early.
Get there early. That's going to be at middle school, right?
At the middle school.
Yeah. If you're going to go watch Gate City and Boone tonight, they played out here at Boone earlier in the year. They packed it out at Daniel Boone's. If you're going tonight to watch them in Gate City, get in there early. It's going to be jammed up and jelly tight, to say the least. Hey, we're live here again at Chick-Fil-A. Let me see if I can say it again in Japanese. That would be Chick-Fil-A. I think it's what Zach told me. I like Zach. That's a cool guy there. Funny guy. Good sense of humor. He'll be back next week talking about this ETSU Con, this event next weekend at the Cobb Center at East Tennessee State. Let's run down from last night. We gave you the Tennessee scores. Let's run down the Virginia scores again from last night. Eastside Big Oak Hill Red, and this is boys play, 65-56 53. John Battle in overtime beat Lehigh 76-71. Gate City over Ridgeview 90-67. They wore them out. Lebanon beat Virginia High by 21 last night. Wise Central over Union by 3. And Castlewood beat Twin Springs by 13 last night in boys play. Let's get into the girls' action, see how that went last night in Southwest Virginia as well. Twin Springs ladies all over Castlewood 66-19. John Battle's ladies beat Lee by 5. Honaker over Grundy by 19. Ridgeview beat Gate City's Lady Blue Devils by 18. Wise Central over Union 47-43. And Virginia High's Lady Bearcats beat Lebanon by 2, 46-44. Again, Daniel Boone's girls, 7th in the state in Triple-A, will take on the Gate City Lady Blue Devils. And, of course, Gate City trying to buck up and get an upset tonight in that ball game at Gate City. That would be the goal, obviously, to go over there and get a W and knock them off. Tom Taylor Sports Show, we thank you for being with us. Coming up, top of the hour, we'll check in with Greg Salyer, Major League Baseball, see what's going on in the very latest in the free agent market, and see what's going on there with Major League Baseball. We do have some folks getting a little bit more intense, one of those being J.D. Martinez of the Boston Red Sox. So we'll see. We got pitchers and catchers reporting a week from today, a lot of them. So spring training's here, and still you got a lot of big dogs, if you will, that are still not signed, and we'll let Greg tell us all about that. He gets in here in a few minutes. Wherever you are, again, say hello to us. I want to say hello back to you again. Kelly Essler, hello to you, the Milligan coach. Darius Hensley, Renee McNeil, Jerry McNeil, our regular viewers and watchers, and we certainly appreciate that. We don't take that lightly, and so we appreciate you. So if you're watching the show, give us a shout-out wherever you are, and we'll say a shout-out right back to you. And then, of course, on Facebook, like us and certainly share us, and we would appreciate that very much. And so we're here again at Chick-Fil-A. We don't talk a lot about the NFL. Thought this was interesting. Josh McDaniels backing out of a deal to become the new football coach for the Indianapolis Colts, a decision that shocked the franchise hours after they announced he's hiring. And so the Colts confirmed McDaniels' decision to say first yes, now no, after the Patriots offensive coordinator had opted to stay in New England with Coach Bill Belichick. McDaniels had agreed to contract terms with the Colts to replace their fired coach. A news conference had been scheduled for today at Lucas Oil Stadium, and so they'll go back and pick back up, they being the Colts, and try and find a coach now for their football franchise. So it's a big shock for the Indianapolis Colts for this young man to say yes, great, sign on the dotted line, and we're going to have a press conference today, and all of a sudden, whoops, I don't want to do it. He backed out, and he's staying in New England with his boss of, 13, 14 years, Bill Belichick. Tom Taylor Sports Show, we thank you for being with us here. We are live again at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Tomorrow, of course, we will take our show to Champion Chevrolet, and on Food City Friday we will be live at Food City in Piney Flats, Terry Templeton's store. We're always got that set up and ready to go. We're very much excited to hang out with Terry coming up on Friday. From the National Hockey League, a little bit later on in the show, by the way, Tanner Cook comes in here from the Johnson City Press. Coming up next, Greg Salyer talking, as we said, Major League Baseball. National Hockey League from last night, one upset. Ottawa, an 18-win team, beat New Jersey, went in with the 27 wins under the belt. Ottawa, the Senators, beat them 5-3. It was Anaheim skating past Buffalo 4-3. Philadelphia 2-1 winners over Carolina. It was the Columbus Blue Jackets getting beat. Washington went into Ohio, the state capital, and beat them 3-2. The Vegas Golden Knights losing. Pittsburgh, the Penguins got them. The defending Stanley Cup champions beat the team with the best record, or the second best record in the National Hockey League. Pittsburgh 5, the Vegas Golden Knights 4, and Vegas now 35-14. Pittsburgh, the Penguins at 30-22. Florida skates past Vancouver 3-1. Boston 3-2 winner over Detroit in Detroit. Minnesota skates past the St. Louis Blues in St. Louis 6-2. Winnipeg at home, a 4-3 winner over Arizona. Calgary skates past Chicago in the Windy City 3-2. And it was the Avalanche winning on their home ice against San Jose 3-1. Tonight, Nashville, this is a good one. The Predators at 32-12. The Preds on the ice on the road in Toronto against the Maple Leafs, who are 31-19. The Predators 32-12. Toronto at 31-19 on the ice. 7:30 to drop the puck in Toronto. Boston skates in New York against the Rangers. Boston 32-11. The Rangers 25-23. At Edmonton, 23 wins under the belt skating at LA against the Kings tonight, who are 28-19. That's your National Hockey League schedule for this Wednesday, February the 7th, 2018. We thank you for being with us. We are live again at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. If you missed it earlier, got 3 guys have signed for sure that we know about. Patrick Surtain Jr. will be in the defensive backfield for the Alabama Crimson Tide. His former teammate, Tyson Campbell, elected to go with the Georgia Bulldogs. And then the big boy, the big lineman, who committed to and said, I'm going to play football for Ohio State. And so that was Petit Frere, that young man. That's his last name. He, big old youngin'. He'd been batted around with several schools and finally settled and signed and said, I'm going to be a Buckeye for Urban Meyer. So that's a big feather in the cap, literally, for the Ohio State Buckeyes of Urban Meyer. So let's see, 11:56. Pastor Greg's running late. Okay. Jeremiah Clark says looks good. So we appreciate that. We'll take a quick break. We'll take a look at some NASCAR news coming up next year. We'll talk baseball when he gets here. We're live again. We are. We're on the 683rd show as we're live again here at Chick-fil-A The Crossings in North Johnson City. Don't forget to sign up for the Chick-fil-A 1A app. There you go, the Chick-fil-A 1 app. All you got to do is download the Chick-fil-A 1 app, create an account, track your progress every time you scan your app or place a mobile order, and earn free treats the more you use your Chick-fil-A 1 app. And it's just that easy. So that's all you got to do at Chick-fil-A here at the Crossings in North Johnson City. Speaking of the National Signing Day, Chick-fil-A is sponsoring the signing date coming up for the signing day coverage being announced today at East Tennessee State University for the Buccaneers. They've got their signing day coming up. Chick-fil-A Johnson City, presented by Chick-fil-A Johnson City page, will be available on the official website of the ETSU Athletics, etsubucks.com, which will give you, the fan, complete coverage throughout the day. This page will include a signee tracker, player bios, and highlights on each recruit. At 5 o'clock, head coach Randy Sanders will hold a press conference inside the Ramsey Tower at the William B. Green Jr. Stadium. Press conference is open to the public. There will be also video streamed. Can you believe that? They're going to live stream that. And they've told me that live streaming wasn't going to work. 3 years ago when I started this adventure, they said, wow, live streaming, what are you talking about? It ain't going to work. Press conference is open to the public. It will be also video streamed via the Buccaneers Sports Network YouTube page. I love it. It ain't going to work. Nobody's going to watch it over there. How many people told me that in the beginning? Well, ain't nobody going to watch that. That's something, wow, that's one of them modern highfalutin things. It ain't going to work. Heard that more than once. Still hear it some. But anyway, that's going on today. And so we'll let you know for sure tomorrow. We'll be live at Champion Chevrolet, the exact recruits and who they are and how they're going to be able to help Buck football, and also how Jeremy Pruitt's doing at University of Tennessee as well. Quick break. We'll talk NASCAR coming up next. We are on the countdown, by the way. We'll tell you how you can get your tickets to get ready to go racing. We are 67 days away from the Food City 500. We are 66 days away from the big Saturday of racing, the Xfinity Series, the Fitzgerald Glider Kits 300, and also the Zombie Auto 150. 66 days from that. 67 days away from the Food City 500, and we're 11 days out from the Daytona 500. As the drivers are there getting ready to get settled in for the next week or so of racing again at the world's fastest half mile at Bristol Motor Speedway in 67 days. And as we said, 11 days, they're getting settled in the Daytona International Speedway for the Great American Race. Kurt Busch in town to defend his crown from the Daytona 500 from a year ago. Quick break. We'll be right back. We're live again. We are here at Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City, show number 683 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue. Do you like pulled pork? At Phil's, the pulled pork is cooked low and slow. We cook it all night, but we serve it fast. Our pulled pork is hickory smoked, tender and juicy. We serve the pork either as a sandwich on a bun or platter style with garlic toast. And don't forget to try the pork wings. They taste like a cross between ham and our sweet ribs. It comes as a meal, as an add-on, or part of our meat sampler platters. Pulled pork and pork wings. Just 2 great reasons to stop by Phil's Dream Pit. Eastern Star exit off I-26, 349-6437. Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Chick-Fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
We're back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show again. We're live at Chick-Fil-A at the Crossing in North Johnson City on this Wednesday. Tomorrow, Champion Chevrolet. Friday will be at Food City and Piney Flats on a Food City Friday. Big one-day sale on Friday. We'll tell you all about that tomorrow, and obviously Friday from Piney Flats at Terry Templeton's store. Again, three of the big recruits have nailed themselves down and made their commitments known. That would be Surtain heading off to Alabama, the cornerback Tyson Campbell going into Georgia, and again, the big lineman said he's going to play for the Ohio State Buckeyes. So we're going to get an update here real quick, let you know what's going on, because that's why we're here, and that's why we want you to be on the cutting edge. So some of the big names are done as far as where they have made their intentions known. Patrick Surtain Jr., again, one of the two top defensive backs for college football, heading off to Alabama. His teammate Tyson Campbell both played at American Heritage High School in Plantation, Florida. Campbell opts to go to Georgia. And then also the other big lineman that everybody was kind of holding their breath to see where he was going to head. And, of course, all the schools very much wanted to know where he was headed. And so that would be Nicholas Pettit-Friere, the number 13 recruit. The top offensive tackle in the class of 2018 will be and is now a Ohio State Buckeye for Urban Meyer. So big signing literally for Urban Meyer and the Ohio State Buckeyes. And we'll shake it out tomorrow and let you see. In fact, we got it right here. Let's do that while we got it. We're getting ready to talk about college football. Top recruiting classes are Georgia, Ohio State coming out of the early signing period. Georgia, Ohio State, Alabama. Let's see. Also, a pretty strong recruiting class for Clemson and the Miami Hurricanes of Mark Richt. So more of those will be added today. Obviously, we'll let you know tomorrow who wins the recruiting battle for 2 signing periods, the one in December, the new one, and of course today is the traditional National Signing Day, again the first Wednesday in February for college football. Tennessee holding the first spring game of Jeremy Pruitt's coaching tenure April the 21st at 2 o'clock. School announced the date for its annual orange and white game. Tennessee hasn't yet announced when it will be opening spring practice, trying to bounce back from a 4-8 season, which had set a school record for losses and finished winless in the Southeastern Conference for the first time since the league was formed back in 1933. Pruitt, of course, hired to replace Butch Jones. Still haven't heard anything about Butch, where he's landed anywhere at all. So, but he got a nice little check right off in the sunset. So I guess he's going to take I would think his sweet time to find a new job. But Jeremy Pruitt, again, the orange-white game, April the 21st on that Saturday at Neyland Stadium in Knoxville. Former Georgia quarterback Jacob Eason makes it official. He transfers back home to Washington, a 5-star prospect and the number 5 overall player in the country in the class of 2016. Kept his commitment to Georgia through the transition from former coach Mark Richt and signed with Kirby Smart's first class in Athens, Tennessee, of course, through the season opener against North Carolina. 131 yards, 1 touchdown in Georgia's season opener against North Carolina that season. Coming off the bench, went on to start the remaining 12 games. So suffered a knee injury in the first quarter last year against Appalachian State, allowing Jake Fromm to step up, and of course led the Bulldogs to the SEC title and a berth in the national championship, which of course you know they lost to Alabama in overtime. So Jacob Eason says, I'm heading back, and so Eason is heading back to Washington to play for the Huskies. And so he will have to sit out the entire 2018 season due to the NCAA's transfer rule, which will coincide with Jake Browning's senior season in Seattle. So Easton should be the top dog year after next in 2019 for Coach Chris Peterson and the Huskies. So Jacob Eason officially leaving, transferring Georgia. He is now a Washington Husky back in his home state. One more college football note: after leading Southern Cal to back-to-back double-digit win seasons and New Year's 6 bowl games in his first 2 full seasons, Clay Helton getting rewarded nicely. Agreed to a contract extension through 2023. And so they are tickled to death, so says Athletic Director Lynn Swan, with the job he's doing. And so financial terms not disclosed, but Helton, who also served 2 stints as the Trojans' interim head coach in 2013 and 2015, led the Trojans to an 11-3 record this past season, recording the school's first Pac-12 title since 2008. So Clay Helton gets a contract extension through 2023 as the head coach of the Southern Cal Trojans, and he is in on a lot of players too in this recruiting day for this National Signing Day of college football. I know yesterday we ran down the top 10 guys that are still out there, and his name, USC was in on about 4 or 5 of those players, so we'll see if he can bring them into the fold and have them playing for the Southern Cal Trojans for the next 4 years. We'll know that again tomorrow. NASCAR news: the Can-Am duels are a pair of qualifying races that will determine the bulk of the field, and the starting lineup for the Daytona 500 will be running next Thursday a week, starting at 7 o'clock. It's 2 60-lap, 150-mile races. The drivers in each duel are determined based on qualifying speeds from single-lap qualifying on Sunday, this coming Sunday for the Clash. So, how do the duels set the Daytona 500 lineup? Well, the single-car qualifying speeds determine the top 2 starting spots rather than the Daytona 500. The duels determine who will line up in the majority of the spots on the starting grid for the Great American Race. So, the top 2, the front row, if you will be from qualifying speeds determining the top 2 starting spots on February the 11th, which of course is this Saturday. And then the rest of the field will line up in the majority of spots on the starting grid for the Great American Race based on the 2 Can-Am duels next Thursday night at Daytona. Most of the teams are there. Most of the teams are ready to roll. The Clash, by the way, coming up on Sunday. Drivers in the Clash: Ryan Blaney, in no particular order, Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick, Eric Jones, Brad Keselowski, Kyle Larson, Joey Logano, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Martin Truex Jr., Austin Dillon, Casey Kane, Jimmy Johnson, Danica Patrick, Jamie McMurray and Rocket Ryan Newman are in the field for the Clash for 2018. That, of course, will be a 75-lap event, and that'll get going at 3 o'clock coming up on Saturday. So the top 2 drivers that qualify for the front row will be as a result of the 2 fastest qualifying speeds coming up on Sunday for the February the 11th event. So that's coming up. So Speed Week cranks up Saturday officially, the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series and the Advanced Auto Parts Clash. Again, that'll be ready to roll on Saturday. So everybody's going to be back on track very soon. And so that is a good thing for us NASCAR boys. Again, we are, as we said earlier, 66 days out. You can go to any food city and get your tickets for the racing for the world's last great Coliseum at Bristol Motor Speedway. And let's see what I do with that. Greg is in. He has settled in. We were talking baseball coming up here in just a second. But again, at your local food city, you can get had it right here. And by the way, here's the Zombie Auto 150 logo. I think this is really cool. I could get a t-shirt or a ball cap with that on. I just like it. No Roadster. The Zombie Auto 150. That's the official logo for the race coming up, which is the K&N Series race on Saturday, April the 14th. Anyway, Food City, I can wing it. I know what I'm doing. You can go to any Food City and get your tickets. They're $50 tickets with a Food City 500. Kids 12 and under get a $10 ticket. And for every ticket you purchase at Food City, any and all Food Cities have these tickets, you get yourself 500 value points per ticket. So we've been saying most folks will buy 2 tickets. That'll get you 3 gas visits per ticket. So buying 2 tickets, which would be a $50 ticket for an adult. If you want to get a $10 ticket for the kid 12 and under, you're talking $60 for 2 tickets. And then on top of that, you get 6 gas visits. You get 500 points for the adult ticket you purchase. You get 500 value points for the kids ticket. Every ticket you purchase, you get 500 extra value points at Food City, which translates again into, the way I've got it ciphered out, translates into 3 gas visits per ticket. So the RUB. And that's what's going on at any and all Food Cities. Again, this Friday will be at Food City in Piney Flats. Let's bring him on. We're ready to talk a little Major League Baseball here. It is getting wild and woolly as we head down the home stretch, and there he is, buddy Greg Salyer. Good afternoon, my good friend. How are you?
Hey, Tom. I'm great. How are you?
Traffic crazy?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Duty called, and I had to stay there for a little while and finish up something that I was in the middle of. But,
there you go.
The rain made it a little crazy out there.
Yeah. Let me just say this. He didn't waste any time getting here. He called me at 11:56, and I'm on my way, and it is, what is it now? It is 12:13. Old NASCAR here. He came across town pretty quick. That's good.
And I didn't speed too bad. I mean,
no.
A little bit, but not too bad.
Yeah, you were moving. I don't know. Well, speeding is certainly subjective. What I would think would be speeding would be a little bit different, obviously, what he would think would be speeding. But he's here in one piece and safe, and he'll talk a little baseball, and we'll get him something good to eat here coming up in a few minutes. All right, let's get it started because Tony Clark's under the gun here.
Oh, yeah.
The Major League Baseball Players Association head dog, Tony Clark. Pitchers and catchers, this is his official statement. Pitchers and catchers reporting to camps in Florida and Arizona next week, which we've told you. A record number of talented free agents remain unemployed in an industry where revenues and franchise values are at a record high. Spring training has always been associated with hope for a new season. This year, a significant number of teams are engaged in a race to the bottom. Interesting. This conduct is a fundamental breach of trust between a team and its fans and threatens the very integrity of our game, end quote. That's from, again, Tony Clark. The response from Major League Baseball's Jerry Krasnick says this: our clubs are committed to putting a winning product on the field for their fans. Owners own teams for one reason: they want to win. In baseball, it's always been true that clubs go through cyclical, multi-year strategies directed at winning. So Clark goes on to say, get his comments on this, Clark goes on to say that tanking is a problem. The team is tanking. Teams are prioritizing younger players these days. Free agents tend to be older. That's number one. Front offices are fairly homogenous right now in terms of how they value players. See, here's the part. Here's the real caveat right here. Thanks to local and national media contracts and the sale of Major League Baseball streaming properties. Did I hear that again? Streaming? They told me this wouldn't work. Now we're streaming and making big money streaming it. The teams don't need to sell tickets in order to make money. They don't care if anybody in the stands because they're making money outside of the ballpark with these contracts, national, local media contracts, and the sale of MLB streaming properties. So if you're in the stands, okay. If you're not in the stands, that's okay. I got my money anyway, which is a disgrace, I think, to the sport. So Greg Salyer with us, our Major League Baseball update guy. So what do you think? What's your take on all this?
Okay, so I read Tony Clark's original statement like right after I got out of bed this morning, and it just kind of hit me wrong, you know?
Yep, me too.
All right, so what other industry is there other than professional sports that you can make the claim, okay, my company is making a profit, so they should pay me more? I mean, that's the argument that I hear there. You know, if they're going to make a profit, then they should pay the players more. That's all I keep hearing. Listen, none of these players, the guys making the minimum, are making a whole lot more money than we are.
Yeah.
And, you know, none of these guys are starving. Eventually there's a limit. I mean, there's got to be. We have seen these salaries skyrocket and go up and go up and go up to record numbers. Nobody's worth what these guys make.
Oh, no.
Nobody.
No.
And, I mean, we've just got to come to grips with the fact that eventually there's a breaking point. And, you know, and we may hit it sooner rather than later. I don't know. But, you know, I mean, the first example that I thought of with what he said is Eric Hosmer. Eric Hosmer is a young free agent. He's 28 years old. That's pretty young to become a free agent. But he's had 2 deals on the table that we know of, both over $117 million
no.
for seven years. And he said no because he's holding out for more years in his contract. And I understand, okay, this is his one chance, his one shot in his career to really get paid and make the big money. This is it. Because if he signs that 7-year contract, he's going to be 35 the next time it's time to renegotiate. And you know, he's not going to be the player at 35, and he is at 28. I understand that concept. I understand what he's saying. But, you know, you can't say that the offers haven't been there because they have. And the agents and some of the players are holding out for more. They're holding out for more years or more money. And, you know, and some of these teams, we talked about it a couple of weeks ago, they're waiting until next year because the free agent market is going to be even better next year than it is this year.
What's the old saying in the book? Pride goeth before destruction. So some of these guys just being greedy, and you know, so he's going to get what was on the table for Hosmer? Case in point, $117 million for 7 years.
Yeah.
So what is that? It comes down to 117 divided by 7 would be what?
It's not 20, but it's close.
Before I embarrass myself, that's a good political answer.
Yeah.
It ain't 20, but it's close. Let's just find out here real quick.
I think it's.
We're about to find this out because I'm getting ready to make a point.
It's more than 15.
117 divided by 7, about 16.7. Now, let me go ahead and just kind of cut it to the chase here. This guy is bucking because he's going to make $16 million a year to play 162 days of baseball. And he's telling me that's not enough. Now, if you put that in the bank at interest at, what's interest rate now, ballpark, on a savings account? I'd say it's 3%.
Okay.
And I don't know if it is or not. It's just, it sounds good. Here's what you're living on for a year. I believe we can make it.
Just on the interest.
That's just on the interest. So my point is, you know, it's like I met a guy the other day, lives here in the Tri-Cities, and he was bragging on me that somewhere, wherever he lives, he's got a 15-bedroom house.
Whoa.
And I said, you know what? He said, what do you think about that? I said, well, you can only flush one toilet at a time. You can only sleep in one bed. I said, what is the point of having a 15-room house for 3 people? Well, that's for status. You know, I mean, just to be able to say I got a 15-bedroom house, which is all fine and good. If you want to do that, it's fine. But my point is,
you got 13 kids, I guess.
Yeah, no, there's 3 people in this house. So my point is this: for these guys to say no to this kind of money, which is unfathomable to the common guy that's walking through Chick-Fil-A today to come in here and just trying to keep your head above water and make ends meet, it's just pure greed. And so that's the way I look at it on both sides of the coin. So at some point, what I see is going to happen is the fans are going to go, timeout. There's a backlash. You know what? They can have it. I'm done. I'm going to watch college baseball or whatever. And, you know, we've seen that in pro football. Super Bowl was down 7% of the ratings. They've been down all year long in ratings, and even at Super Bowl with Brady and everything going on and what he could have done, and the Eagles in their season are still down 7%. So maybe the fans are going to say, "Hey, enough's enough," because it's obvious in this article, and both sides have said it. We don't care if you're in the stands or not. We're making money with the TV contracts and the streaming contracts, and if you're there, great. I keep saying the toughest job is the season ticket seller or marketing guy for the Reds, the Pirates, any of these people that have kind of unloaded their team, but they don't care. Yeah. If there's 10,000 there, if there's 50,000, they're getting paid outside of the ballpark, and I think there is the rub. So where do you see this going is my question.
Well, I really think that I think some of these guys are going to sign contracts that they really didn't want to sign this year. I think it's just going to be how it's going to be. Some of them maybe even minor league deals, who knows, with the opportunity to make a team. And I think that's where we're going to see that. And I think, the players are going to try to regroup and say, hey, something's going to have to be done about this. But I don't think the owners are going to go for it. So, they've got several more years on the collective bargaining agreement. So, we'll have to wait and see at that point if it's still an issue. But, and really, I blame the agents a lot for this too. Because they get their cut and they're going to hold out for as much as they can get.
Well, sure.
And so, those guys are responsible for a lot of these guys not signing for now as well. So
it goes back to this magic word, folks.
Yeah.
You don't take a rocket scientist to look at it. It's called greed.
Yeah.
So, and then we have another guy. We're going to get into some free agents. Go out. Frazier signed. George Springer signed. We'll get into that in just in a second. But then my other problem is Carlos Beltran not going to the White House with his teammates to visit with the president. Says it's not political. He's not upset. But he is upset because his native country, Puerto Rico, he says, we're not doing enough to help these people in Puerto Rico. We've sent millions and millions of dollars of aid. I know at one point we sent soldiers down there to help the cleanup. I don't know if they're down there now or not, but to say that it's not political, he's not going to come to the White House, it's not political, then turn right around and say, well, yeah, but there's not enough being done for my country to get back on its feet. There's still people out there without power in Puerto Rico. I read that the other day. So, but Beltran says, no, I'm not going to go to the White House to visit Trump because of what's going on in my native country, but it's not political.
There's so much going on in Puerto Rico that it's not even funny. I mean, I hear Puerto Rico every day just in my field of influence. And here's why. Okay, spring break for the college, for ETSU, Jonathan Chapman's taking 37 students to Puerto Rico on a mission trip to try to help out with what's going on. The Tennessee Baptist Convention is currently in the process of partnering each of the associations in the state of Tennessee with a particular church there in Puerto Rico in order to go and partner with them and help them get back on track and be able to minister to their community and help with all the stuff that's going on in their community. The Holston Baptist Association has a church there that we've identified, and we have now sent a team down to meet with and evaluate the situation and see what can be done. It's not just the government that's reaching out to Puerto Rico.
Exactly.
It's a lot of others, and I don't know.
I ain't buying it.
It comes down to the same thing as these football players kneeling. It's
you got it.
The same thing. And by the way, I was one of that 7% that they were down because I didn't watch it.
Oh, I didn't either. Didn't care. I could care less.
Yeah, I said I was going to watch Victoria on PBS. I ended up watching Dude Perfect. You ever watch Dude Perfect? You need to watch Dude Perfect. They're hilarious. They're on Nickelodeon. 5 guys that do all these trick shots. You'd love it. You'd eat it up. They've got all these world records. They're in the Guinness Book of World Records for all these things they've done. Good Christian guys from Texas, Plano, Texas. And they've got a show that's on Nickelodeon. They got famous on YouTube. And
what kind of trick shot to do, like golf shots or basketball
golf shots? Basketball, football. They play all these crazy sports. They'll combine 4 or 5 sports into one thing and play a game. And They have all these challenges. I mean, it's crazy some of the stuff they do. But
sounds like more fun than the Super Bowl.
They even had on this one episode. You know how you have a paper shredder that shreds paper?
Mm-hmm.
They had this big, huge shredder that you put a car in, and they got all this stuff. They cleaned out their storage building, their storage unit that they were renting. They brought all this stuff they weren't using anymore. They had a basketball goal they put through this shredder. It was awesome. One of the guys had his grandfather's old golf cart, and it didn't run anymore. He didn't even have the key for it. So they said, we're going to shred the golf cart. They put the golf cart through the shredder. You should have seen it. It was awesome.
An actual shredder?
Oh,
An
yeah.
actual shredder of the golf cart.
Shredder, yeah. It takes 1 megawatt of power to run the shredder. It was awesome. So you need to check out Dude Perfect. Check them out. You'll love them.
I didn't check out the Super Bowl. As I was leaving the restaurant, as I was walking out the door, I stopped. It was the last play of the game. I saw Brady's Hail Mary. It's the only thing I saw. Apparently, it's the best play of the game.
I didn't see that.
And so that's all I saw. I went right on out. I didn't see Justin Timberlake do whatever he did, and apparently he dedicated the show to Prince. And so anyway, it's all it's all what you want. But yeah, I'm with you. And so you look at free agency, J.D. Martinez, case in point. Martinez, again, they've offered $125 million, they being the Red Sox, over 5 years. He's not interested. Scott Boras, the agent for Martinez, saying the price was client 7 years at $210 million after he hit .303 with 45 home runs and 104 RBIs in 2017. $210 million for 7 years, which is, obviously, you do the math, $40 million a year for 162 games. So what happens if the owners don't pay it? I mean, what happens if you get to the point it's like, we don't care if you play or not. We'll go get we'll get Tom Taylor and Greg Salyer, who's pretty good ball players, for a whole lot less than that, and we don't need you. I mean,
we were pretty good ball players 20, 30 years ago.
But you know my point.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
I mean,
I'd play for meal money, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I mean,
so,
exactly.
That's what it comes down to. And if they're going to go for the guys that are young and hungry and want to be there, that's what's going to happen. And some of these guys may be sitting home. Who knows?
If I'm doing this right, $40 million divided by 162 games, they get .246. What does that mean?
I think
it's 24,000 a game.
A game, I guess.
Yeah. If I did that right, let's try it one more time.
No, it might be more than that.
Let's take 40.
It'd be more than that.
How many zeros I need? One more.
One more.
No, one more. 40 million divided by 162 games.
$246,000.
$246,913 a game. Divide that by 9 innings. Guy's making this guy who said it's what he needs to have. He's making $27,000 an inning. Come on now. So, we keep seeing these salaries are outrageous. Well, at some point in our economy, the way things are, and at some point, the old rooster's going to come on the roost.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
that simple. It can't keep going like this.
Well, you're talking about people going to the games. Eventually, people like me, I have to save up to go to a baseball game. You know? I can't just say, okay, we're going to go to Cincinnati, go to a game, and see whoever. We just can't do that. We have to save up a little bit to go now, and that's a shame.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
Tanner Cook joins us coming up. He's in the house from the Johnson City Press, one of our great sports writers of the JC Press. George Springer, MVP, avoided salary arbitration, agreeing to a, here we go, $24 million 2-year contract. He's making 12. That's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, that's good. That's great.
I'm going to get my calculator back out. I'll just let you talk while I'm ciphering.
That was good for the Astros that they could avoid arbitration with him, I think. I think they really wanted to do that. A nice signing for him. He's not made a lot of money so far in his career, so that's good that he's able to cash in a little bit. But you're looking at $74,000 a game.
God bless him, $74,000 a game. How's he going to make it?
Yeah,
buy you some nuggets and chicken strips for that, can't you?
Yeah, I mean, you have an offer. That's.
You're gonna make it either way.
Yeah.
You 0 for 4 or 4 for 4.
Yeah.
You're making $74,000. He is. That's a signed deal.
I'd be feeling
$74,000 a game.
I'd be feeling bad for an offer though.
There you go.
I'd go 1 for 3. I'd feel bad.
Yep. Here you go. So anyway, that's the absurdity of what we're talking about, and that's why these agents are still out there unsigned. Some teams report this coming Tuesday. Most of them all of them will be reporting a week from today. Pitchers and catchers to spring training. So we'll see these guys get signed. You've got this is your
This
major
is not
league?
mine. This is not mine. This is the USA Today Sports projections.
Okay.
I don't know that I totally agree with it.
We got a couple of minutes here before Tanner gets in here and gets rolling. So
Yeah.
American League East, they picked the Yankees.
Yeah, I got to say I agree with all their division winners. To be honest, I think they got the East pretty much right. To be honest, I can't argue with that at all. The Yankees and the Red Sox, going to be there in the playoffs. The other three teams with losing records, I think that's probably pretty accurate.
Which would be Toronto, Tampa Bay, and they've predicted in the cellar the Baltimore Orioles. Okay. Hello, Bill Patrick. How you doing, my friend? He's going to be with us tomorrow at Champion Chevrolet, talking Kingsport Speedway, American League Central.
Cleveland,
we got
Minnesota.
Indians.
Yeah, Cleveland and Minnesota are the class of that division for sure. We know that after last year. I don't think Chicago will be as good as they have been. I think Kansas City might be a little better, and I think Detroit could finish up in fourth in that division as well. I think their pitching is going to be better than a 63-99 record.
All right. Daniel Norris going to be one of those guys, we hope.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's pretty much got a rotation spot unless he loses it in spring training.
American League West, the Houston Astros. They're predicting a 100-win season for the Astros. Then come the Angels, Seattle, Texas, and Oakland in that order. You okay with that?
Yeah, I would go for that. I think the Angels are the team in the American League who has probably improved the greatest since the World Series, and I think they've done what they need to do, and I don't see them beating Houston at all in the division, but I look for them to at least be a contender for the wild card.
In the National League East, Washington, the Mets, the Braves, the Phillies, and Miami. Like that order?
Yeah, I mean, they've got the Braves and the Phillies tied with both the 76-86 record. Philadelphia might be a little better than that. They might be a little bit better, I think, than the Braves this year. They've made some major improvements. I think Aaron Nola is a stud starter. I think he's going to have a breakout year for them if he can stay healthy. And I think in the National League East, the team that's helped itself the most is the Mets, and I think that's what we're going to see. I think they're going to finish probably second right there behind the Nationals.
In the Central, the Cubs, Milwaukee is vaulted up to the second place. Then comes the Cardinals, the Pirates, and the Reds.
Yeah.
You okay with that?
No. I put the Cubs on top,
right.
And I think Milwaukee will be right there second. In the National League Central, the Brewers are the team that have helped themselves the most. I mean, they have improved more than any other team in that division. I like them ahead of the Cardinals. Where I differ is, I think I'm going to make a statement, and you're going to laugh. I think if the Reds' pitching is healthy, their pitching will be better than Pittsburgh's. I think they'll finish ahead of the Pirates this year.
All right.
I think their lineup's better. So their lineup-wise, I like the Reds, but I think their pitching is going to hold up, and if it does, they'll be better than the Pirates.
Tanner Cook joins us coming up here in a minute. Again, we're live at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City, peppering down the rain. Please drive carefully you're out and about. They're talking now some low-lying flooding in the area because of all the rain we're having here, so please drive carefully if you're out and about. Last one, the Dodgers, Colorado, Arizona, San Francisco, and San Diego in the West.
Yeah,
right?
I go with the Dodgers to win that division for sure. I think they're the class of that division. I agree San Diego is going to be at the bottom. But where you pick those three in the middle, I think is a toss-up. I think any one of those teams could finish in any one of those positions. So,
are you flying to San Francisco when they retire Barry Bonds in Jersey? I know you're a big fan.
I don't think I'll be there.
Nor will I. So.
Yeah, I don't think I'll see that.
No, I don't think I'm going to drive to San Fran or fly or boat or ride a go-kart or anything. I'm going to stay put.
Yeah.
Now, last thing, going back to these games, as everybody laughed at me 3 years ago when I started the show saying streaming is a joke. It's not going to be it's not the way of the future. It's not only the way of the future, it's the present. So if you can sit at home, case in point tonight, and watch a ball game streaming, a lot of folks will say, I'm going to pass going to the ballpark, and the parking and the ticket and the drunks around us and all the things that you experience at a ballpark that are not always positive. So I'm just going to stay at the house.
Yeah.
And that's very viable.
Yeah. Now, the thing they do, though, MLB.TV, when you do get their streaming service, They black out the local games. So even for me, because I was looking at buying that last year, but all the Reds games were blacked out.
In East Tennessee?
In East Tennessee.
We're not local.
We are considered in their region, so all the Reds games were blacked out. And I said, well, why would I buy that then? Because that's the only ones I really want to see.
Exactly.
So that's a problem, you know. So if you're going to be streaming, you're only going to be able to see out of market games. So that's one of the reasons that they do it that way, I guess, so people don't sit home. But but I've still got Fox Sports Ohio.
There you go.
So,
anything you want to leave us with?
Yeah, I mean, let's shift gears from baseball to basketball for a minute.
Okay. Yeah.
I was in the stands last night over at Unicoi County and got to see Sullivan Central, Unicoi County play ball. Yeah, okay.
Tanner
was
you
there
covered
too.
that one.
Okay,
Yeah.
very good. Saw the girls play and the guys, and I got to tell you, Unicoi County's got a team. They impressed me. So
Trevor Hensley.
Yeah.
And Podfin.
And that freshman, number 11, I don't even know his name. Okay, yeah. That boy was phenomenal. He is going to be solid for years to come. I mean, look for his name every year. Just really impressed with him. The girls' game was actually, to me, the better game of the two. Went over with Hosey, and, of course, his niece is the point guard for Unicoi County.
Oh.
Kaylee Hendrickson.
I didn't know that.
She scored 15 last night.
Hi, Abby.
She's 5'3" and had 4 rebounds too. So he told me he's a watcher. He said she's the shortest player on the court, and she's going to get around 5 rebounds a game. He said that's her average. She had 4, I think, last night. But I'll tell you what, Central has got a good future. They're losing one player. They have one senior on their roster, and their best player is actually a sophomore. And the only reason that game wasn't closer, the girls' game, was that girl for Central didn't shoot in the third quarter at all, and for the first half of the fourth quarter. I mean, she was their leading scorer, I believe, in the first half, and didn't even shoot the ball at all in the third quarter. So, and then, late in the game, she started again, but it was just, layups. And so, I don't know, that was my take. But I just wanted to share it with you. It was awesome. I needed a night out like that, and I had it, and really had a good time.
I went and watched them Friday night, and the kid, number 11, came off the bench, Unicoi County, and he single-handedly beat Elizabeth. Elizabeth had Unicoi County beat that night, and he came in, I think, lit up three or four threes from way downtown, and that sparked them, and they won the ball game. So, yep, should be an interesting district tournament next week in Elizabeth, and so
absolutely,
that's pretty much a wide-open conference race, I think, come tournament time.
Yeah, he had a block. Oh, my goodness. He blocked a shot. It bounced off the wall. Solid block.
Hammer.
Yeah, and the student section just started chanting, "He's a freshman." So it was classic, as everybody was laughing. You're like, yeah, he is a freshman. I can't believe it.
Yeah, good time ahead.
Yeah, absolutely.
See you next week.
Yes, sir. Next
week, spring training starts. We'll see if some of these big dogs get signed.
Oh, yeah.
Guys bucking $74,000 a game, so not making enough money. Are you kidding me? We'll take a break. We'll be right back. We are live again. We're here again at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossing in North Johnson City. Tanner Cook from the Johnson City Press joins us next here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
The 10th anniversary birthday celebration is on at Phil's Dream Pit, Eastern Star exit of Interstate 26. Anytime this week you stop by and dine at Phil's Dream Pit and take in some canned goods to help Second Harvest Food Bank, you'll get 10% off the total of your bill all week long. Plus, this coming Saturday, the actual day of the 10th anniversary birthday celebration, when you take in canned goods and you dine there this coming Saturday, February the 10th, you'll get 20% off the total of your meal. How about that? Happy birthday and happy anniversary from Phil's Dream Pit all week long. Take in canned goods to help out Second Harvest Food Bank and dine there on Saturday, and it's 20% off, their way of saying thanks for 10 great years at Phil's Dream Pit, Eastern Star exit of Interstate 26. See you this week at Phil's Dream Pit. If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
We're back live again. We're doing a little chalk talk with Tanner Cook here at the Johnson City Press. Thank you, Greg. Great job as always. You gonna get something to eat? You got you. Gotta get some Chick-Fil-A. How you doing, Bob?
I'm pretty good. How about you, Tom?
Good. We were talking a little basketball during the break, and we were talking the high school hoops. You know, this AA tournament next week in Elizabeth, and I mean, throw them in the hat and shake them up. Even Unicoi County is kind of susceptible. They won the conference last night, but I saw Elizabeth and give them all they wanted the other night, and Elizabeth's a 7-20 team, so I think next week all of them are going to be interesting. I think really interesting guys and girls in Elizabethton.
Yeah, the Three Rivers will be really interesting. I think Unicoi is probably a little bit better than a lot of the teams on the boys' side, but if the three-pointer for them isn't falling, it's probably not going to happen. Podvin's pretty good on the inside. He's probably the best center in the league, that what I've seen. I haven't paid too much attention to the Three Rivers this year. I've only covered a few of their games. But Elizabethton is, especially the girls, are getting better. Now the girls, Central started off the year kind of slow. I think they're 13-9 now, based on from what I remember from last night. They had a chance to lock up the Three Rivers last night, and they couldn't beat Unicoi at Unicoi, but that's a really hard place to play. So it'll be an interesting conference tournament for sure.
For the girls, you're right. It's Central 9-3. I'm sorry, 9-2. Unicoi County 9-3. Sullivan South 7-3. Sullivan East girls are 5-6. Elizabethton 4-7. They've really improved the girls team since Lucas has taken over. Johnson County 3-7, and Happy Valley's girls at 1-10.
Now I think Central has one more conference game to play out,
Friday night,
and South has a couple more games to play out. So it could be some wonky three-way tie at the top before it's all said and done here. But the boys to me is pretty definitive, unless Unicoi County just absolutely blows it in the tournament.
What does wonky mean? I just learned a new word.
It's a kind of topsy-turvy.
A wonky, I like that. Yeah, and it is, well, because Central plays at Elizabeth on Friday night. That's a big game for the girls and certainly for the guys too. And the boys' side of things, Unicoi County at 10-2. They will play Friday night. Where do they play? It doesn't say.
They play
Thursday
yeah.
at Crockett. It's a non-conference
yeah.
game. Unicoi County 10-2, East at 8-3, Johnson County's boys 6-4, South Skies at 5-5, Elizabethton at 5-6 in the conference. Then you have Central 4-7, and the Happy Valley winless at 0-11 in the conference. But again, as you said, and you're right, the tournament time, 2 or 3 day tournament, you can get hot and you can do some damage.
Yeah, the team that probably poses the biggest threat to Unicoi County is East, especially. East has been playing well of late. Dyer always has those boys ready to go at tournament time, seems like. I've watched East a couple of times this year. They've had some up and down games, just can't shoot, but that's just the way it is sometimes with these teams nowadays. If they can't shoot, they're going to lose. But East will be ready to go. They probably pose the biggest threat to Unicoi.
AAA, boys, Dobbins, Midland, and Science Hill. Science Hill and DB now tied for the conference lead at 10-1.
Yep.
Crockett at 6-6 in third. So that tournament next week at Crockett's going to be interesting too.
Yes, the AAA tournament will be very interesting. DB Science Hill, of course, like you said, the 1-2 seeds. I've seen both teams this year. Haven't seen them play each other, but Science Hill has got a really good defense. That's the thing that struck me most. Coach Cutlip always has his team ready to play defense. Coach Poor has done a terrific job at Dobbins Bennett. Both teams are just really tough to play. Now, if Boone has Lawson, Rigsby, and Hegler ready to go, if they're all healthy, that's the most dangerous team in the conference. Because if they get hot, they can beat anybody. Crockett's a big threat too. Coach Good always has those boys ready to play. They can pull off the upset every now and again, but probably the biggest threat out of that conference is Daniel Boone, because if they get hot, they can beat anybody.
On the girls' side, Daniel Boone 11-0, 23-4, 7th in the state. They got the horses to get to the big show.
I think Boone is probably one of the only teams in the area that has a chance to get to the state. Science Hill has a shot, but more than likely they will run into someone in the region like Morristown West, and Morristown West is a very, very good team. Boone, if Culberson's playing really well and Pierce is getting their touches in the low post and all your outside shooters there for the Lady Trailblazers are shooting well, they'll win a lot of games and they'll go pretty deep in the tournament.
Morristown West, by the way, 4th in the state in AAA girls basketball. Daniel Boone at number 7. Everything starts again next week. The District 1 AAA tournament at Crockett, the AA tournament at John Treadway Gymnasium in Elizabethton, and the Single A tournament will be played at Daniel Boone. Watauga Valley Conference Single A boys, Hampton at 7-1, North Green at 5-3. Watauga Valley Conference girls, North Green 7-1, Hampton's Lady Bulldogs at 7-2. So it, should be a great tournament there too.
Right. The Hampton boys are, to me, the definitive favorite in that conference. Drew Owens is a great scorer. In the girls, it's a little bit of a less clear picture. I've only seen North Green once this year. They played at University High early in the season, and the North Green girls were pretty good, but then again, they're playing the UH girls, and they impressed me. But I've seen Hampton a couple times. Cheyenne Tooley is pretty good. Hampton will go pretty far in that tournament. They'll probably make it to the championship, face North Green more than likely.
Don Tanner Cook, Sports Writers, you see on the screen, the Johnson City Press. Again, we are live here, as we said, at Chick-Fil-A The Crossings in North Johnson City. What's your take? Greg and I just talked about the baseball free agency pretty extensively in his weekly segment. And what's your take on why these free agents aren't signing up and why the owners aren't throwing big contracts out of these guys?
I really don't know. To me, it looks like more and more that there's a select group of teams that are trying to win the World Series. This includes teams like the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Dodgers, Cleveland, of course, Houston,
Cubs.
Yeah, and then pretty much everything else is just a race to the bottom, trying to rebuild and avoid going over the luxury tax and stuff like that. But it doesn't make any sense because there's no middle ground. There's no team like I take, for example, Minnesota. That's always a threat to win the division, and they're always hovering right around the 500 mark or so all the time in what historically has been a weak AL Central division. But it just seems to me that everybody's going to the rebuilding phase, and it doesn't make any sense because you're just going to have the same teams in the World Series for the next 4 to 5 years. But Houston is the testament that, hey, that these teams that start the process from the bottom can eventually get to the top, but it takes a long, long time. I mean, Houston took, 5-6 years, something like that.
Josh McDaniels, switching gears, pro football, leaves the Patriots, says yesterday, yep, took the job, yep. For whatever reason, comes back later, same day. They're going to have a press conference today. They're not now, but they're going to have a press conference, name him the new coach of the Colts. He said, hold your horses. I'm going back to New England with Belichick. Well, what's this all about, do you think?
Oh, Josh McDaniels pulled the old 9th green at 9 trick on the Colts. The Colts have just had so much bad luck with Andrew Luck. He was such a promising quarterback, played very well his first year. And he just keeps getting hurt, and the Colts are just on really hard times right now. And this is just like a punch in the gut almost for the Indianapolis. And for McDaniels, I think it was the right choice to stay in New England because I don't think he was ready for the head coaching job again.
So I wonder what swayed him. You got a phone call from Belichick, or
probably got a phone call from Kraft. That's
from
what
Kraft
I'd say.
said, we need you back as the offensive coordinator.
That's what I'd say.
Yeah. So anyway, they're still looking for a coach now in Indianapolis because he told them no, and so it's he first said yes, then he said no, and hasta luego, baby. He's going back to New England to be the offensive coordinator. College football national signing day today. Again, Surtain, one of the corners, signed with Alabama. One of the 5-star guys are still out there but waiting to make his decision. His teammate Tyson Campbell goes to Georgia.
Right.
The big lineman everybody was trying to get a hold of opts to go to Ohio State. So you're starting to see, again, the rich just keep getting richer, right?
Yeah. It's not. I don't keep up with recruiting as much as I should, but it's just the rich keep getting richer. Georgia's picked up some big recruits today. Tennessee is getting there, but I think there'll be some announcements later in the day that we might have flipped some kids from, Florida or something that would be a big help to Tennessee.
Yeah.
But I haven't followed it as closely as I should, but I know that Georgia has definitely picked up some big prospects, and Kirby Smart's just going to reload, and I would not doubt that he goes to the national championship again next year.
He has, at this point, looks like he's going to be taking his boss's place as the best recruiting. Alabama's owned it for the last couple of years. It looks like that Georgia's going to surpass it and be the #1 college football based on the December recruiting, and now based on what's going on today, everything we're reading and hearing. So had your boss on yesterday. It's pretty cool. He said, for all the modern technology, when you get right down to it today, all these coaches sitting around the fax machine waiting for the fax to come in that they've signed. That's the only way they know who's coming to be on their team, or be in their school, which I thought was pretty cool, pretty interesting.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. You don't think about it, but it's just the quickest way to get the recruiting letters in. And it's old technology from like the 1990s, even the early 2000s, but you got those fax machines, and it's just hilarious to watch the coaches in the press conference be like, and they're waiting for those little beeps.
Taylor's here. Cook signed. We got Cook. We got Taylor. That's literally how it works,
yeah,
right?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Interesting stuff. Again, the Bucs will have a announcement today at 5 o'clock, brought to you by the good folks at right here Chick-Fil-A. It's signing day for East Tennessee State. Coach Sanders will have a press conference at 5 o'clock at the football stadium to announce who they've got. So it's a trickle-down effect. All the big boys want their big guys, but then it's just kind of the mid-majors, like East Tennessee State, they're out beating the bushes for players too, right?
Yep.
So it's Winter Olympics. Are you into that at all?
I'll watch some of the early stuff like figure skating. I'm not a big curling person, but the half pipe and stuff like that, that's pretty cool to watch. Speed skating is another one. Always like watching athletes like Shaun White and Lindsey Vonn compete for the United States, just bring home gold medals and dominate the Winter Olympics like they have been in the past.
Yeah, I think the interesting part, a lot of folks don't know this, but these bobsled guys trained here in Johnson City at East Tennessee State. A lot of folks don't know that. This is a Winter Olympic training site in Johnson City.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I haven't had the time to get over there when they were training in the summer, but I've heard from a lot of people that have gone over there. It's pretty cool. Bobsled's one of those sports, the only thing you know really about it is from the movie Cool Runnings, the Jamaican bobsled team, but I think it'd be pretty cool to watch because you got that sled and you're going really fast down that ice. It's just like,
It would be cool. And I was up at the Speedway doing the show back about a year or so ago. I was in the media center, and they were giving a tour of the bobsled team that they'd never been to Bristol Motor Speedway. This guy walks up, and he's got a big old pair of camouflage cargo pants on, and he said, "Hey, you want to see a gold medal?" I said, "Sure." So down in his pocket, he pulls out an Olympic. I can't remember the guy's name now. It was Olympic gold medal. He was training over at ETSU, but he was part of the Olympic gold medal bobsled team back in the late '90s. And so this guy's walking around, big gold medal in his pocket.
That's pretty cool.
Cool. I said, "Yeah, you got one?" He said, "Yeah, I got one. Look right here." I mean, the thing's huge. I got to hold it. It's heavy.
It's heavy, yeah.
Yeah, it's gold medal. So neat stuff. But anyway, the Winter Olympics in Korea.
Thursday.
Yeah, start Thursday. Cranking it up for the Winter Olympics for 2018. We're talking to Tanner Cook. So, what is your hot button right now? What are you covering? High school basketball?
Yeah, it's high school basketball time. It's pretty cool because I'll actually get to go back up into Virginia a little bit. I'm from Virginia, so covering stuff for the Times News now. It'll be really cool to go back up into Virginia, get to see teams like Union, East Side, and some other really good teams. Of course, Skate City have great basketball up there in Southwest Virginia. Their tournaments start about the same time as Tennessee, and it'd be simultaneous coverage. I'll be in Tennessee one day, and I'll be in Virginia the next day. It'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, you taking part of your duties too. You take pictures. I've noticed.
Yeah, a lot of pictures. I'm the do-it-all guy. Take the pictures and then write the story and box scores and stuff. It's a lot to take in during the game, but you learn to cope with it. You just work methodically. You don't get to watch a whole lot of the game, but you start to pay attention in the third and fourth quarter when the game starts to, wind down and critical moments start to happen.
And then also, right around the corner, in fact, we're going to be cranking up Elizabethan baseball here on the Facebook. Yeah. And the Cyclones and Ryan Presnell will start March 13th, which is not that far away, a little over a month till we start baseball coverage. But that's where I first met you.
Yeah.
And that was pretty cool. We got a chance to work the Elizabethan Pigeon Forge sectional game down at Pigeon Forge. So high school baseball should be really, really good this year. And a lot of teams look to be very, very strong. The usual suspects, DB Science Hill, Unicoi County. Elizabethan's going to be good. I think Boone's going to be improved in baseball. So should be a good baseball and softball race coming up in the spring. Of course, you guys will be having that too, right?
Oh, yeah. Baseball, softball. It's just going to be it's going to be a lot of fun. High school baseball and then getting in the Appalachian League season. That'll be a lot of fun. Baseball is my favorite time of the year. The spring starts to roll around and everything starts to get warm again. I'm tired of being inside.
Amen. Wet and cold and, being inside. You're exactly right. Last question, I'll let you go. I know you're hungry. We'll feed you. East Tennessee State Buccaneer basketball, how good are these guys?
They're
in
pretty
your
good.
humble opinion.
15 in a row. I think it's the second or third longest winning streak in the country right now. I've watched them several times. They're pretty good. They're one of the better mid-major teams I've seen, and I've seen a lot of the mid-major teams this year. If the Bucks went out here, they still got a few games to go. I think they have at VMI Saturday, and then their next game is at UNC Greensboro, and that's probably the toughest test left for them. Now, if they went out and they only lose 4 games in the regular season, and they make it to the Southern Conference Final, and they lose, and they're like 31-5 in the regular season and in the postseason for the Southern Conference tournament, you can't deny a 30-win team an at-large bid to the NCAA tournament. But the Southern Conference doesn't carry that much weight. It all depends on what happens in these conference tournaments. Now, if the Bucks win the Southern Conference tournament, you don't have to worry about an at-large bid, of course.
Joe said yesterday, we had Joe on the show, Joe Vento, who covers the Bucks, said the only way they're going to get to the big dance, they got to win the Southern Conference tournament. Runner-up probably won't do it, but the Southern Conference does have an automatic bid to the NIT. So if they can't get to the big dance, which is what you want, then there is a consolation prize of sorts to the NIT. But obviously, everybody wants to get to March Madness.
Of course, everyone wants to get to the big dance, but I just cannot see the committee keeping out a 30-win team. It just doesn't happen. There's so few 30-win teams in the country that there'd almost be a riot in the streets of Johnson City if they did keep out ETSU, if they were to make it to the Southern Conference Finals and lose. But I've seen crazier things. I just can't see the committee doing it. 30 wins is a lot of wins, and for the Bucks to have what at that point would be something like a 23-game winning streak, I don't see it happening. I just don't.
What's interesting is they win at VMI to tie the school record. They play UNC Greensboro Monday night to break the school record. Well, you got to know it's on their bulletin board in Greensboro to go and stop the Bucks winning streak and all that's involved. So there's a lot riding on it, no question. So it's going to be a lot of fun down the home stretch to watch. The Bucks are back in here 3 more times in Freedom Hall before the season ends, and the tournament starts in Asheville Civic Center coming up next month, so it's going to be good. Tanner Cook, hungry?
Yes.
Yeah. Love you coming over, man. You do a great job. And what are you covering tonight? Got anything going on tonight?
I'm actually off, but I'm going to cover some things over at DB for signing day, and then I'm actually heading over to Gate City to watch Boone play at Gate City in Mac McClung's senior night, which will be a rocking crowd. And if I get there by 4 o'clock or so, I may get in the door.
That's what they said. I had a guy in here earlier listening to the show. He said, if you want to go watch Gate City and Boone tonight at Gate City, you better get there early. And he wasn't kidding, because they'll pack it out there at the middle school.
I mean, they sold out Viking Hall 2.5 hours before their game started, the first game of at the Arby's Classic against North Mecklenburg. Viking Hall is pretty big. It holds, I don't know how many.
A lot more than the Gate City Middle School.
It holds a lot more than Gate City Middle School, but when they sold that out, you knew that Matt McClung's the real deal.
He's the real deal. So seriously, if you're going to go watch it tonight, you better get there early to get you a seat at the Gate City Middle School for the Blue Devils and the Daniel Boone Trailblazers. Good job, man. Thank you.
No problem.
Yep. Before we get out of here, let's again tell you one more time about the old. Well, let's go back to this other camera, and that way old Tanner can say, I'm going to go get me something to eat, and I get that because I'm going to be right behind him. I'm hungry in a Bear Cub, so, but I want to show you this again before we get out of here. Again, the Chick-Fil-A One app right here. Are you getting free treats? All you got to do is download this app, create an account, track your progress. Every time you scan your app or place a mobile order, and earn free treats. The more you use your Chick-fil-A One app is the more you're going to get free goodies here from Chick-fil-A The Crossings in North Johnson City. So are you getting free treats with the Chick-fil-A One app? There it is. That's how you do it here at Chick-fil-A The Crossings in North Johnson City. We are out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Big thanks to, of course, Greg Salyer. Does a superb job every time talking Major League Baseball. Also, we had on earlier in the show Zach James from the ETSU Con, the gaming phenomenon. He's expecting 2,300 people at the Culp Center next weekend for a gaming. We heard of ETSU Con, the gaming weekend of sorts, with comic books and all this other stuff going on. So that's happening at the Culp Center at East Tennessee State. Zach will be back next week to talk more about that. And of course, Tanner Cook just now with the Johnson City Press. We certainly appreciate that as well. So again, we are, the countdown's on, 67 days away from the Food City. Hello, Amy Lynn. How are you? Good. Food City 500. Again, 67 days out. We're 11 days away from the Daytona 500. And again, reminding you, when you get your tickets, be sure and get them in Food City, at any and all Food City locations. 500 value points per ticket. And so that translates into 3 gas visits per ticket. The Saturday racing tickets on that 14th for the Fitzgerald Glider Kits 300 and the Zombie Auto 150, those will be a $30 ticket. Kids 12 and under get in free. And then for the Sunday race, the Food City 500, it's a $50 ticket for adults, and kids are $10, 12 and under. And again, every ticket you purchase, whether it's a $10 ticket or a adult ticket, every ticket you purchase, you get 500 value points from Food City, which translates into 3 gas visits per ticket. It's a screaming deal. You can't beat it. And they're available in any front office at all Food City locations. Again, this Friday will be at Food City in Piney Flats. We are out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Before we go, let's double check one more time before we get out of here and make sure anything going on in the world of sports that we're going to miss out on as we go to the break here. Let's see. On the sports headlines, anything big? A Tuesday meeting convinced McDaniels to stay at New England. There's the headline. At least 3 more Eagles passing on to the White House visit. Disappointing. Let's see. That's pretty much it. And there'll be more to talk about tomorrow when we take a look at what's going on in the National Signing Day for college football. So for all the folks and for Connie Laramie, the marketing girl right here at Chick-Fil-A, this is Tom Taylor again, wrapping up show number 683. Tomorrow will be a Champion Chevrolet, the #1 Chevy deal in the state. Got a full slate of guests tomorrow. So until we greet you tomorrow from them, until then, and from there I should say, like us and share us. And again, we would encourage you to please do that, and we would appreciate it very much. And again, you can go back and watch the show when you want. Any of our shows are archived immediately to go back and watch at your viewing pleasure. So until tomorrow, we will tell you as always, from Chick-fil-A in the Crossings of North Johnson